Time now for the morning rush. We start with this happening today. Albuquerque City Councilors will be voting on a bill that would implement a new way of schooling, one that gets the parents and community involved in a child's education. City Councilor Cynthia Borrego's resolution urges the state legislature to support and provide funding for the schools that would like to implement a community schools model. Borrego says the model would be extremely beneficial for families who may not have access to resources, such as those in lower income areas. Community schools provide families with resources they may need through community partnerships. Kristen.
Looking at mostly sunny conditions across the state today, the exception just a few flurries possible over the higher peaks of our northern mountains. Nothing major though tomorrow. Same kind of thing along and east of the central mountains. Watching for some light snow showers, minor accumulations with the cold front passing through. David?
Developing news right now. The city is paying $50,000 to an Albuquerque family after a dispatcher hung up on a caller who was trying to help a dying teen. 17-year-old Jaden Chavez Silver was killed in a drive-by shooting. This was while he was at a house party back in 2015. Now, his friends called 911 for help. Dispatcher and former Albuquerque firefighter Matthew Sanchez took the call but hung up out of frustration. Chavez Silver's parents sued the city claiming negligence. Sanchez resigned after the incident.
This morning, APD is asking the community for help finding an accused killer. Police say they identified James Chavez through DNA off a water bottle left at the crime scene. According to investigators, earlier this month, Chavez shot and killed two men at the Circle K on University and Manal. They say Chavez pulled a gun while being escorted off the property for allegedly loitering. There's a warrant out for his arrest this morning.
Today, the House's Tax and Revenue Committee will hit the ground running as they are set to begin debate on House Bill 6, which would alter taxes for New Mexicans, raising the gas tax by about 10 cents a gallon. That's a more than 50% increase, which would bring the total gas tax to around 27 cents per gallon. Now, other potential tax changes include a reduction in gross receipts tax and a hike in vehicle excise tax. This would match the gross receipts tax rate, which differs around the state.
Happening today, Albuquerque City Council is scheduled to vote on whether or not to demolish a home in the International District. This despite the property having a new owner. For years, neighbors have been complaining about squatters and trash around this property. The city's planning department says tearing down a home like this one is a long process. It considers a number of things and only approves demolition as a last resort. We'll let you know what's decided.
This morning, the partial government shutdown of the federal government is now in its 33rd day. This week, the Senate is considering a pair of competing bills aimed at ending it. Each will be voted on Thursday. However, it appears neither one has enough support to advance.
New at 6 and happening today, Attorney General Hector Balderas is expected to unveil active shooter response technology at Aztec High School. The technology is set to be used first at that high school. You might remember in December 2017, two students, Francisco Paco Hernandez and Casey Jordan Marquez, were killed when a gunman walked into that school and opened fire. The app that sends alerts about an emergency on campus is set to be revealed today.
Today's Metro Threat Index at 3, looking at some cold temperatures this morning in the 20s. Also, a little bit of a breeze this afternoon, about 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the northwest, but nothing major when it comes to rain or snow. Crystal?
We're looking ahead for you. Aquaman actor Jason Momoa scheduled to be at the New Mexico Comic Expo, something that's new this year. Matthew Trujillo runs Age of Comics with his brother. He says they came up with the idea for the Comic Expo as a way to bring something new for New Mexicans. As for booking Momoa, Trujillo says he and his brother have become well connected with people within the industry. He'll be at the event on Sunday, August 18th. For more details, go to alwaysonkRQE.com.
Professional athletes from Albuquerque are currently starring in a national commercial. Boxer Holly Holm and professional skateboarder Mariah Duran, they were chosen by Mountain Dew to appear in its Let's Do commercial. Both Duran and Holm grew up and are currently living here in the Duke City. The ad also features other sports stars and the rap group Migos.
Fans of the New Orleans Saints are moving forward with a lawsuit against the NFL. Two season ticket holders are suing the league for damages after a ref did not call pass interference during Sunday night's championship game during that play right there. Many fans are saying that resulted in the Saints not going to the Super Bowl. The list of damages include anguish, trauma, and the loss of enjoyment of life. Attorneys expect the judge will dismiss this case. Kristen.
Time now for a check on that morning commute. Right now, there's nothing major out there. A little bit of slow go. Paseo westbound near 2nd Street for the Big I. At this point, moving smoothly. We'll keep eyes on this for you throughout the morning.
The city is preparing right now to get ART up and running by the end of the year, but ahead of the delayed launch, someone is turning it into a joke, and the city is not laughing. This white SUV right here has been spotted around town since the summer, sporting what appears to be the same graphics from ART, spelling out Lost ART Bus Search and Rescue Team. A spokesperson with ABQ Ride is calling the city, or rather the SUV, quote, a sad attempt at humor.
We are taking you back 9 years ago on this day, January 23rd. Parts of the southeast corner of our state picked up 5 to even 20 inches of snow after a series of storms. Some of the top totals included over 3 feet in Luna, 34.5 inches in Chama, and just over 20 inches in Dulce. That was 9 years ago on this day. Time now for a look at the 5 facts.
We start with number 5 here. Professional athletes from Albuquerque are currently starring in a national commercial. Holly Holm and professional skateboarder Mariah Duran were chosen by Mountain Dew to appear in its Let's Do commercial. Both Duran and Holm grew up and currently live here in Albuquerque. The ad also features other sports stars and the rap group Migos.
At number 4 this morning, the city is paying $50,000 to an Albuquerque family after a dispatcher hung up on a caller who was trying to help a dying teen. 17-year-old Jaden Chavez Silver was killed in a drive-by shooting while at a party. This was back in 2015. Now, his friends called 911 for help. Dispatcher and former Albuquerque firefighter Matthew Sanchez took the call but hung up after getting frustrated. Chavez Silver's parents sued the city. Now, they were claiming negligence in that lawsuit. Sanchez resigned after the incident.
At number 3, a lot of sunshine in that 7-day forecast, and we're going to need it to help warm these temperatures up this morning. Most of us below freezing. Looking at 40s this afternoon, not quite at average just yet, but the breezy conditions continue out across the eastern plains. Some mountain flurries for the next few days, and 3 different cold fronts on the way. The strongest arrives early next week.
And number 2, today state lawmakers are set to start debate on a huge tax bill that, if passed, could significantly alter taxes for New Mexicans. In the bill, Democrats outlined the changes they would like to see, including raising the gas tax by about 10 cents a gallon. Now, that would be a more than 50% increase, bringing the total gas tax to around 27 cents a gallon. Democrats say the money raised would help pay for road projects. Meanwhile, Republicans are against the proposal, saying the tax is not needed, citing the state's budget surplus.
On to number 1 now, and on to that government shutdown. There are 2 proposals on the table set to be voted on tomorrow by the Senate. Neither are expected to pass. The GOP proposal incorporates President Trump's offer to swap temporary protection for some undocumented immigrants for the $5.7 billion needed to fund the controversial border wall. A rival Democratic bill would reopen the government but not fund the wall. It's based on a measure that's already made it through the House. Both proposals are expected to fail at this point because either would need 60 votes to advance. If you want to see more details on this, go to our website. That's always on KRQE.com.